let me take you back to a simpler time, an earlier time, when video games were hard, when menus were complicated, and gave you options that didn't change anything.
Deployment successful, Commander.
A time when
Standing
video
by.
games didn't hold your hand. They weren't made for casuals. When the newest thing in games was to get rid of the idea of waiting for your turn. Today's episode is a retrospective look at the grandfather of real-time strategy games. Developed by the now defunct Westwood Studios, Command & Conquer is a game shrouded in myth, mystery, and lost to the flow of time. The narrative of these games focused heavily on the central villain, a charismatic leader by the name of Cain, and his cadre of terrorist zealots called the Brotherhood of Nod. Praise has been placed upon this series of games for compelling narrative, unintentional comedy, and a thought-provoking introduction to the industrial and military complex. Game designer Hideo Kojima often cites the Command & Conquer storyline as the inspiration for the narrative within his own Metal Gear Solid franchise. A staple of these games is a flashy aesthetic based upon a future Earth where the Glorious Defense Initiative fought against the antagonistic Brotherhood of Nod using Star Wars-inspired mechanized walkers. To this day, combat retains a frenetic pace with the inclusion of wholly useless units such as repair vehicles, cryocopters, demolition trucks, and flame towers. The pedigree of a game of this caliber comes directly from the mad genius of lead developer and co-founder of Westwood Studios, Lou Castle. This recently unearthed audio recording of the game development process gives insight into the creation of a blockbuster franchise.
Listen, I don't give two shits.
But sir,
Listen, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but where I'm from, there's gotta be a goddamn balance. You got fast units all over the place. You got slow units all over. You gotta make it simple. Group the damn slow guys together, group the fast guys together.
but if we do that,
I have been making games for over 3 years. How about you?
But sir, if you look at the meta,
Fuck the meta game. Make the fast guys weak and the slow guys strong, and that's final.
One of the main features that allowed this franchise to set itself apart from its competitors was the laid-back pace of the opening minutes of the game. Due to the necessity of construction economies relying upon unprotected collector units, and to the dismay of the developers, harvesters could and often would die in unintentional ambushes by approaching enemy scouting parties. Players often began games with harvester treaties to alleviate this game-breaking bug. The Command & Conquer series of RTS games set itself apart from its competition by relying heavily on a complex metagame, involving radar facilities that provided an edge in the battlefield by showing an overview of the area. By destroying said radar facility, an ambitious armchair general could gain the upper hand in the battlefield. Matches between two proficient players often devolved into slugging matches, with each attempting to undermine the strength of the other. This dance macabre reflected the history of combat from around the world. In this gaming historian's humble opinion, the Command & Conquer franchise of real-time strategy games receives the number 12 spot for real-time strategy based on the statistics extrapolated from possible outcomes of future technology based on previous endeavors into the role of war technology.